Take action and find inner peace. The journey to achieve inner peace of each person is not the same. Here are some general methods that can be useful. To meditate regularly. Meditation helps the mind to be clear and the spirit relaxed, helping you put aside worries in the world and focus on your inner self. Do maintain physical health. Regular exercise, healthy eating and sleep can significantly improve your mental state. To immerse yourself in nature, whether it's walking in the park, watching the stars, or listening to the sound of the sea waves. Getting in harmony with nature can help you achieve peace effectively. Take action and find inner peace. Experience trekking in Ninh Thuận Infinity Lake with an unforgettable journey. Duay Sin Kovo, Dumango, 65 and 63 views. The trekking journey of Vu Quy Lake attracts a large number of young people who are passionate about exploring. This tourist destination is not known to many people, so it still retains its pristine and peaceful beauty in the mountains and forests. Therefore, if you want to have a new Ninh Thuận travel experience, this will be a journey you cannot miss. Quick view. 1. About Voodoo Lake Trekking Tour. 2. What is interesting about the Infinite Lake Trekking Journey. 2.1 The trekking route of Voodoo Lake. Only to discover the pristine beauty at Infinity Swimming Pool. Quick view. 1. About Voodoo Lake Trekking Tour. 2. What is interesting about the Infinite Lake Trekking Journey. 2.1 The trekking route of Vo Cook Lake. Only to discover the pristine beauty at Infinity Swimming Pool. 1 About the Vo Cook Lake Trekking Tour. If you look up information about Ninh Thuận Infinity Lake on Google Map, you will not find much information about this place because this is a very new and little-known tourist destination. Around July 2021, Mr. Trung Van Nguyen's article about the trekking journey of Vu Hoi Lake in the group Phuot, Ninh Thuận has attracted a lot of attention. It is known that Mr. Trung is a traveler and also specializes in providing trekking tours to new places in Ninh Thuận. Experience trekking at Ninh Thuận Infinite Lake with an unforgettable journey too. The journey of trekking in Vu Ho, with many interesting challenges, is waiting for you to discover. According to the information shared by Mr. Trung, Voodoo Lake belongs to Phuoc Chen Commune, Thuan Bac District, Ninh Thuận Province. However, to get here, you will need to overcome the trekking journey of Infinite Lake, which is quite time-consuming when you have to climb through the rocky slopes, trails leading deep into the mountain. If you come here for the first time, according to the experience of MIA.VN, you should not go on your own, but follow the tour to ensure safety and avoid getting lost again. Do what is interesting in the trekking journey of Vo Cook Lake. 2.1 The trekking route of Voodoo Lake. According to Ninh Thuận, travel experience of visitors who have experienced trekking in Vu Quy Lake. This is a journey that takes a lot of energy. You will need to cross mountain roads, relatively dangerous rocky slopes, trekking continuously for about 2 hours to reach the lake. You should choose comfortable clothes, wear specialized sneakers, bring a stick to support climbing, and prepare enough drinking water to conquer this challenging route. Along the way, you will explore the majestic nature, conquer giant rocks, cross a narrow trail leading up the mountain. Experience trekking at Vo Quy Lake Ninh Thuận with an unforgettable journey. 3. Trekking journey on trails creeping into the mountains. Experience trekking at Vo Quy Lake Ninh Thuận with an unforgettable journey. 4. Conquering giant rocks. See more. Experience trekking on God Mountain. Bathing in Bin Hung Beach for a more exciting summer. Only to discover the pristine beauty at Infinity Swimming Pool. After a 2-hour arduous trekking journey across mountain passes, you will definitely be extremely satisfied when you reach the Infinity Swimming Pool. This area is called a giant foot because on the rocks are adjacent lakes, forming the shape of a human foot. The Infinity Pool is located among giant rocks. The lake is not too wide but has a pristine beauty, enough to make you fall in love. Experience trekking at Infinity Lake Ninh Thuận with an unforgettable journey. 5. Infinity Pool with ecstatic beauty. The lake surface is quiet. The water is clear and blue. From here you can capture the beauty of Ninh Thuận mountains and forests. Far away are rolling mountains, people's villages, and afternoon smoke rising from small houses. Most visitors when trekking Vu Quy Lake will choose to camp overnight to enjoy the fresh air, eat with friends, have fun, immerse themselves in the cool water. Compared to infinity pools of other localities such as Dalat Infinity Lake or Sapa Infinity Lake. This lake is somewhat more limited in area. However, thanks to its remote and isolated location, it has kept the pristine color of this place, completely separated from the rhythm of everyday life, giving you the most relaxing and peaceful time. Above is some information about the Infinity Lake trekking journey that MIADN travel guide would like to introduce to you. If you have a chance, please experience this journey to fully enjoy the unspoiled beauty of Ninh Thuận land.